I am upset because I see something that is not there. I am upset because I see something that is not there. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. I cannot keep one form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today here on Monday, January the 6th of 2025. And we're ready for lesson number 6 in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version this year. And let's take a look at what it says. Let's read through it. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps you as much as it helps me. This book has changed my life so many times that it's just become a sadhana, a spiritual practice for me. A way. Lesson 6. I am upset because I see something that is not there. The exercises with this idea are very similar to the preceding ones. Again, it is necessary to name both the form of upset, anger, fear, worry, depression, and so on, and the perceived source very specifically for any application of the idea. For example, I am angry at blank because I see something that is not there. And of course, you'd fill in the blank. You might say, for instance, I'm angry at, and you might name a person, and then you might name what they did that makes you angry, but but then finish out by saying, because I see something that is not there. Add that to after you say, well, I thought I was upset because they were doing such and such, but I guess I'm seeing something that is not there. Or you might say, I'm worried about blank because I see something that is not there. Anyway, we've got to get in touch with the thoughts you're thinking before you can let them go and not hold them anymore. So we're going to look at them. You might come into a little fear by looking at them, but in the glorious opportunity to let them go because you don't need them anymore, and the freedom that'll bring you. Today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. However, the 3 or 4 practice periods which are required should be preceded by a minute or so of mind searching as before, and the application of the idea to each upsetting thought uncovered in the search. So he wants you to take about a minute or so, and he says you can take longer. You don't want to feel like you're hurried. So if take a minute or 2 even, or longer maybe. But he doesn't want you to take a lot of time, but he wants you to if you're experienced in meditation, you might spend a lot more time and actually get a lot out of it actually. But he's not requiring anything more than a minute or so. And to search your mind, and then when you find those thoughts that are upsetting, name them, whether they're anger or fear or worry, whatever they are to you, name them, and then whatever it seems to be the cause of them, specify that in your mind to yourself. But then add, I am whatever it is because I see something that is not there. Again, if you resist applying the idea of some upsetting thoughts more than to others, remind yourself of the 2 cautions stated in the previous lesson. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. There are no small upsets. They're all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. And I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. I am upset because I see something that is not there. And towards the end, if we have plenty of time, we'll sing our song again, and we'll give you a minute to do a little mind searching at the end. So you can have one of those 3 or 4 times today, right now, while we're together. Okay, let's see. Let's go take a look now in our text reading for today. And we're in chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, and section 3, atonement and miracles. I am in charge of the process of atonement, says Jesus, which I undertook to begin. When you offer a miracle to any of my brothers, you do it to yourself and me. The reason you come before me is that I do not need miracles for my own atonement, but I stand at the end in case you fail temporarily. My part in the atonement is the canceling out of errors that you could not otherwise correct. When you have been restored to the recognition of your original state, you naturally become part of the atonement yourself. Okay, we're going to rise up to that same place where Jesus is already at. As you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others, you must join the great crusade to correct it. Listen to my voice, learn to undo error, and act to correct it. Wow, the great crusade, we're joining it. Which is what? As you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others, you must join the great crusade to correct it. Listen to my voice, learn to undo error, and act to correct it. Listen, do, and act. The power to work miracles belongs to you. In other words, you can see your brother is perfect. You can see yourself as perfect. That's the miracle. That your original state that's still in existence, but you've put a lot of beliefs in your world that makes you think that you're separate from your reality. The power to work miracles belongs to you. I will provide the opportunities to do them, but you must be ready and willing. Doing them will bring conviction in the ability, because conviction comes through accomplishment. The ability is the potential, the achievement is its expression, and the atonement, which is the natural profession of the children of God, is the purpose. Paragraph 2, heaven and earth shall pass away. And that's a quote that Jesus is recorded as saying in Matthew chapter 24, verse 35, and also in Luke chapter 2, verse 33. And he's going to, here in particular, the first part of Course in Miracles, he brings in a lot of Bible verses. He makes a little bit of more explanation and clarity. And I think the reason that he does that is because most of us many of us, have come from a very strong Bible learning from our background. That's what's drawn us to A Course in Miracles, because it's like some more clarity. It's like makes what we were trying to make clear in the Bible becomes crystal clear in A Course in Miracles. You know, how to love your neighbor as yourself. We got a little bit through the Bible, but this is kind of like taking us on a little further now. Okay, that's how I like to look at it anyway. So he's trying to make the bridge between the Bible and A Course in Miracles. So he uses quite a few Bible verses. And whenever I notice them, I try to let you know where they're at. Okay, heaven and earth shall pass away means that they will not continue to exist as separate states. My word, which is the resurrection and the life, shall not pass away, because life is eternal. You are the work of God, and His work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because that is what he is. And I think he drew that from Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7, which says, as a man thinketh, in his heart, so is he. Paragraph 3. The forgiven are the means of the atonement. Being filled with Spirit, they forgive in return. Those who are released must join in releasing their brothers, for this is the plan of the atonement. Miracles are the way in which minds that serve the Holy Spirit unite with me for the salvation or release of all God's creations. Paragraph 4. I am the only one who can perform miracles indiscriminately, because I am the atonement, or the at-one-ment. You have a role in the atonement which I will dictate to you. Ask me which miracles you should perform. Isn't that nice? You're supposed to just ask which miracle. You can actually perform miracles that you didn't ask to perform. And he's going to talk about that. Ask me which miracles you should perform. This spares you needless effort, because you will be acting under direct communication. So he's saying be sure to act under direct communication, and then ask the Holy Spirit, or Jesus, however you like to think of God in this world, to tell you whether or not you need to perform a miracle. The impersonal nature of the miracle is an essential ingredient. Okay, the impersonal nature. Keep that in mind. We're going to talk about it. The impersonal nature of the miracle is an essential ingredient because it enables me to direct its application. And under my guidance, miracles lead to the highly personal experience of revelation. A guide does not control, but he does direct, leaving it up to you to follow. Lead us not into temptation means recognize your errors and choose to abandon them by following my guidance. Of course, that's the Lord's Prayer. Jesus said, lead us not into temptation, recorded in Matthew chapter 6, verse 13. And back when he says, ask me which miracles you should perform, this spares you needless effort because you will be acting under direct communication. The impersonal nature of the miracle is an essential ingredient because it enables me to direct its application. And under my guidance, miracles lead to the highly personal experience of revelation. So you might be personally involved in really wanting something to happen, a healing in yourself or somebody, and you might be asking for that miracle. But he says, just go ahead and, add, not my will, but thine be done, is what I'd encourage you. That's what Jesus did when he went to the cross, Father, not my will, but thine be done. If you want me to go to the cross, well, I'm just a body. That's not even me. I'm eternal spirit. You want me to go hang on a cross for some reason? I don't understand all the details, but that's okay with me. Same thing. That's what we need to do. The impersonal nature. We don't get too personally involved in the miracle because we can't see the whole plan, but God does, and so he knows what we really need and what our brothers and sisters need. So instead of saying, well, you need this healing, and we're going to pray for a miracle, say, if it Lord's will, we'll have this miracle. Okay, paragraph 5. Error cannot really threaten truth, which can always withstand it. Only the error is actually vulnerable. You are free to establish your kingdom where you see fit, but the right choice is inevitable if you remember this. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever. Wow, and that's pretty good. We'll try to include that in our song at the end. The right choice is inevitable if you remember this. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever. Atonement undoes all errors in this respect and thus uproots the source of fear. Whenever you experience God's reassurance as threat, it is always because you are defending misplaced or misdirected loyalty. When you project this to others, you imprison them, but only to the extent to which you reinforce errors they've already made. So, you can imprison someone, but it's really a self-choice that they've made. They've already imprisoned themselves, and you've just reinforced it. But we don't want to do that. So this makes them vulnerable to the distortions of others, since their own perceptions of themselves is distorted. The miracle worker can only bless them. And this undoes their distortions and frees them from prison. That's what we want to do to our brothers. So see the Christ in them, the godness in them. Paragraph 6. You really mean it when you say namaste. I see God in you and I honor God. And see only that. Paragraph 6. You respond to what you perceive, and as you perceive, so shall you believe. The golden rule asks you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And of course, there's what Jesus said recorded in Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. The golden rule asks you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This means that the perception of both must be accurate. The golden rule is the rule for appropriate behavior. You cannot behave appropriately unless you perceive correctly. Since you and your neighbor are equal members of one family, as you perceive both, so will you do to both. You should look out from the perception of your own holiness to the holiness of others. So see your own self as holy, as in God, as perfect, as pure, as sinless, and see your brother the same way, because that's your reality. Paragraph 7. Miracles arise from a mind that is ready for them. By being united, this mind goes out to everyone, even without the awareness of the miracle worker himself. The impersonal nature of miracles is because the atonement itself is one, uniting all creations with their Creator. As an expression of what you truly are, the miracle places the mind in a state of grace. The mind then naturally welcomes the host within and the stranger without. When you bring in the stranger, he becomes your brother. Let's bring in the stranger and let him become our brother. Okay, paragraph 8. That the miracle may have effects on your brothers that you may not recognize is not your concern. The miracle will always bless you. Miracles you are not asked to perform have not lost their value. They are still expressions of your own state of grace, but the action aspect of the miracle should be controlled by me because of my complete awareness of the whole plan. The impersonal nature of miracle-mindedness ensures your grace, but only I am in a position to know where they can be bestowed. And of course, that's just making it more clear what I'd already said a while ago, that we don't want to get too wrapped up in what we think is needing to be done. The impersonal, seeing that God has a plan that might involve a little bit of what might appear to be death or sickness, but that's not even reality. That's going through that dream for a purpose that the soul needs. So he knows the whole plan, and so we just ask him, thy will be done, is how I like to think of that whole thing. Not my will, but thine be done. I'll reiterate that. And the last paragraph, 9. Miracles are selective only in the sense that they are directed towards those who can use them for themselves. Since this makes it inevitable that they will extend them to others, a strong chain of at-one-ment or atonement is welded. However, this selectivity takes no account of the magnitude of the miracle itself, because the concept of size exists on a plane that is itself unreal. Remember our first lesson, our first miracle principle? There is no order of difficulty in miracles. Well, this selectivity takes no account of the magnitude of the miracle itself, because the concept of size exists on a plane that is itself unreal. Since the miracle aims at restoring the awareness of reality, it would not be useful if it were bound by laws that govern the error it aims to correct. Wow, we are free from all that. Okay, let's see. Before we sing our song and close, let's see what's going on around the world. What kind of religious holidays? It's first quarter of the moon today. Some holidays I found on holidays and observances. It's Epiphany for many Christians, Catholics, Protestants. Epiphany, also known as Three Kings Day. I've also, I think in the 12th night, I think is also another name. Let's see, Apple Tree Day, and the Malus domestica. And if you're going to grow an apple in the Ozarks, I encourage you to really consider the Arkansas Black. It's almost completely immune to apple rust, and which is that disease that fungus crosses back from a cedar to an apple. And it's just a really hardy apple that won't take hardly any care at all. A lot of people like to plant them for livestock, even for deer. I say livestock, for deer. Anyway, Arkansas Black is one I rank out of. You can get it from Edible Landscaping too, by the way. Armenian Christmas. So the Armenians are Merry Christmas to the Armenians. A Day of Los Rios. It's a Catholic holiday that happens in Uruguay, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but anyway, it's the Day of Los Rios. So happy Day of Los Rios. World Day of War Orphans, and another edible landscaping. Pawpaw. It's another Peterson pawpaw, and it's the Rappahanock pawpaw. It is a the pawpaws are the Asamina trilobas, and the Rappahanock, it says this tree originated as a seedling from a tree in the Blandy Experiment Farm collection. Rappahanock has large fruit with a firm flesh and few seeds, 6% by weight. The flavor is superior as well, very sweet and refreshing, very vigorous and good yields, ripens early. Okay, your Rappahanock. And the other thing nice about your pawpaws is they won't take as much care either. They're a pretty hardy one. Okay, let me warm my fingers up on my hot rock, and I think we're looking good on time. Let's have a little short meditation as we close. Be sure you do 3 or 4 times today of your sitting and searching your mind, looking for upsetting thoughts, naming them, and then saying what you think might cause them, but then adding, but I'm seeing something that is not there. And if you have some of them that seem to be, more difficult, you don't, if you're having some trouble looking at it, you can tell yourself, I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. And you might say, I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. There are no small upsets. They're equally disturbing to my peace of mind. So we'll sing that here right now. And then I also said we were going to try to include our spirit is in a state of grace forever. So let's go ahead and just do that. I'm upset. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Okay, in the text, the right choice is inevitable if you remember this. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore you are in a state of grace forever. The right choice is inevitable if you remember this. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore you are in a state of grace forever. I am upset because I see something that is not there. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then I will regard them all as the same. Now you search your mind. I am angry at blank because I see something. I see something that is not there. Now look for upsets. I'm upset because I see I am upset because I see something that is not there. Now search your mind. Because I see something that is not there. I am worried about blank because I see something. I see something that is not there. Found a few of them. A little mind searching. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Okay. And you know, I a couple more things I want to do before we close. And I wanted to tell you that Vinnie Tolman we talked about on the 3rd. I listened to another one of his on a Heather Tesch Beyond video, and it's 28 minutes and 37 seconds, and it's called NDE Sees Life Completely Changing Next 10 Years. Vinnie Tolman Sees Future. He's got a book, Light After Death, and a website, livinggodslight.org. Anyway, I'd encourage. I'll put the link in the description. Vinnie Tolman, another video of his, and the Galician people of Spain. Their word for peace is the same as Spanish word, and it's paz. So paz be with you from the Galicians. Okay, I think that's good. Until tomorrow, be sure to do 3 or 4 practice periods, and you can use it as needed throughout the day. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Pass.